A strategy map is a diagram that is used to document the primary strategic goals being pursued by an organization or management team. It is an element of the documentation associated with the Balanced Scorecard, and in particular is characteristic of the second generation of Balanced Scorecard designs that first appeared during the mid-1990s. The first diagrams of this type appeared in the early 1990s, and the idea of using this type of diagram to help document Balanced Scorecard was discussed in a paper by Drs. Robert S. Kaplan and David P. Norton in 1996. The strategy map idea featured in several books and articles during the late 1990s by Robert S. Kaplan and David P. Norton and others, including most notably Olve and Wetter in their 1998/9 book Performance Drivers. Across this broad range of published sources, there are only a few common attributes. Strategy maps show, each objective is text appearing within a shape, relatively few objectives. Objectives are arrayed across two or more horizontal bands on the strategy map, with each band representing a perspective. Broad causal relationships between objectives shown with arrows that either join objectives together, or placed in a way not linked with specific objectives but to provide general euphemistic indications of where causality lies. The purpose of the strategy map in Balanced Scorecard design, and its emergence as a design aid, is discussed in some detail in a research paper on the evolution of Balanced Scorecard designs during the 1990s by Larry and Cobbold. Origin of strategy maps. The Balanced Scorecard is a framework that is used to help in the design and implementation of strategic performance management tools within organizations. The Balanced Scorecard provides a simple structure for representing the strategy to be implemented, and has become associated with a wide selection of design tools that facilitate the identification of measures and targets that can inform on the progress the organization is making in implementing the strategy selected, and also provide feedback on whether the strategy is having the kind of impact on organizational performance that was hoped for. By providing managers with this direct feedback on whether the required actions are being carried out, and whether they are working, the Balanced Scorecard is thought to help managers focus their attention more closely on the interventions necessary to ensure the strategy is effectively and efficiently executed. One of the big challenges faced in the design of Balanced Scorecard-based performance management systems is deciding what activities and outcomes to monitor. By providing a simple visual representation of the strategic objectives to be focused on, along with additional visual cues in the form of the perspectives and causal arrows, the strategy map has been found useful in enabling discussion within a management team about what objectives to choose, and subsequently to support discussion of the actual performance achieved. Perspectives. Early Balanced Scorecard articles by Robert S. Kaplan and David P. Norton proposed a simple design method for choosing the content of the Balanced Scorecard based on answers to 4 generic questions about the strategy to be pursued by the organization. These 4 questions, one about finances, one about marketing, one about processes, and one about organizational development, evolved quickly into a standard set of perspectives. Design of a Balanced Scorecard became a process of selecting a small number of objectives in each perspective, and then choosing measures and targets to inform on progress against this objective. But very quickly it was realized that the perspective headings chosen only worked for specific organizations, and during the mid to late 1990s papers began to be published arguing that other sets of headings would make more sense for specific organization types, and that some organizations would benefit from using more or less than 4 headings. Despite these concerns, the standard set of perspectives remains the most common, and traditionally is arrayed on the strategy map in the sequence learning and growth, internal business processes, customer, financial, with causal arrows tending to flow up the page. Links between the strategy map and strategy development. The strategy map is a device used to communicate the strategy, focus organization efforts, and choose appropriate measures to report on an organization's progress in implementing a strategy. Over the years, many have suggested that it should be used as a strategy development tool, including Kaplan and Norton in their book The Strategy-Focused Organization, who argue that organizations could adopt industry-standard templates if the managers can't work out a strategy for themselves. This type of approach is fraught with problems. See also, Third Generation Balanced Scorecard. References External links, strategic decision-making and national differences. 1. Strategy maps, a guidance strategy map templates. 2.